So hello and welcome to domytriesthis. I hope you brought your cuppa. Today's coffee mug, you should recognize. You can call me queen. We use these on our sample queen days. No crown today, just the mug. And today's tea is from our August Sips By. It is the Tipson Turmeric, Vanilla, and Cinnamon, which I really enjoyed. It's really hot. It was just dipped in, so it's probably not very strong yet, but we're going to give it a sip and go ahead and get started. Yep, mostly getting the sugar right now. I'll let that go ahead and steep while we get on to what we're doing. So we're doing a sample queen today, but it is a little bit different in the fact that it's all covering one brand. This one brand has been offering a sample kit for several months now at least. And I've had mine almost since the first time I've seen them come out. For a little bit, and I've been playing with it on and off. It's really kind of hard sometimes to get to skincare, for one, because there's so much of it. So to have a dedicated brand is sometimes a little harder when you have other stuff coming in, especially from my boxes. But I did try to give this, a chance a little bit, a few days. Did a little bit, took a break, did a little bit more, used pieces individually, used the entire system together, did all of that stuff. So the brand is 8 Saints, and they send you a box like this. I have to say, some of the good things about it is their packaging. Is they send you this box, and inside the box is really nicely put together. When you open it up, you have this card on the top that has a day and night, and on the back gives the descriptions of all the stuff inside. And this is how everything is packed. Over here it says good skin, good mood, good day. But this is how everything is packed. As you can see, the samples are large enough to actually work with and use several, more than once. It's not like a little foil pack. You're going to be able to work with them for, several days, a week, sometimes more, depending on how judicious you are with the product. So you'll have plenty of time to figure out if it works for you. In the card they say, not sure where to start, follow our suggested sequence below or customize for your skin. And then it gives you a day and night regimen. And it says invite friends, get $5. It gives you a bunch of tips on the bottom. And then on the back it actually describes each product and has a welcome code for $10 off. The one thing that you need to be aware of before we even get started, if you're not in the market for something fairly expensive, this won't work for you. Individually run anywhere from $50 to $150, $185. And the whole system runs anywhere from $300 to, I think I saw $500. I'd have to look it all up again, but it is an expensive system. I actually wrote some information on the prices before we get started. Going to start with this. Even if these are amazing, I won't be repurchasing. The cheapest thing they have, full price, is the Zen at $39. Everything else runs from $40 to $70 for singles and $126 to $300 for sets and $600 for the full range. Not money I have to spend even if I like it. That said, I really do appreciate the size of the samples and that they're full containers. It gives you plenty of time to test them and see if there are results in the long term. I would say that the $10.99, this kit was $10.99. I think it's still $10.99. I will say that the kit is actually, if you want to try these, the kit is actually a good deal to buy. So they are expensive, but if you can get the kit, you can enjoy the kit, and the kit will last you a little while. So now we're going to go ahead and get into the kit. I'm actually going to start with the night side. I'm going to go through everything that you use for night, and then I'll go through everything that you use for the day. I will use a little card so you know what we're doing. And I will also try to flip the card around and look on the back so I can explain to you what it's supposed to do. Most of this stuff has gotten tested at night, and then we went to doing the regimen during the day the way it said to. The first thing we have for night is this Bright Side Cleanser. This is thick and creamy, and it doesn't come out of the little sample very easy. I mean, it is really, really thick. I don't know if you can see it in there, but it is like a cream. It is literally like a heavy cream or something that you would put on. It did not suds up the first time. It felt kind of waxy actually, and it still felt like it was on my face after I rinsed. I didn't quite get all the leftover mascara and liner off, but it did decently enough. That said, a toner pad came up clean. The second use, I tried a different way to apply it. Normally when I apply my cleansers, I have these little cosmetic sponges. You can get them at Amazon for a box of 60 of them for about $15 or something. I will list those down below in case you're interested. I really enjoy using them rather than using a washcloth, but I'll get the sponge wet and then I'll put my cleanser on the sponge and then I'll start washing my face. The second time I tried this, I actually tested it in my hand and tried to suds it that way, and it just didn't. In fact, when it was in my hand, it turned thin and milky and practically washed out. While it may work as a cleanser, I don't really like it. I ended up having to bump it up with my Derma E. It's an unpleasant cleanser by itself. It is just really thick. It goes on really thick. You can feel it being really thick, and it doesn't like suds up the way I would assume a cleanser would. And it says it's a deep, clean cream cleanser, so maybe that's why it behaves that way, and it just doesn't really suds up the way it's supposed to. On the card, it says, this creamy cleanser base quickly removes all traces of makeup and oil buildup without drying or irritating the skin. An infusion of vitamin E revives tired skin, replenishing moisture and leaving skin soft and supple. Best for dry and sensitive skin. Use 1 to 2 pumps, add water to lather, swirl over skin, steering clear of eyes, rinse off with water or cloth, used daily. So it is supposed to actually do some kind of lather, and it really doesn't. It's very weird. I will probably use it up, putting it in one of my cleansers. I just didn't find it very pleasant at all. It's just thick and kind of waxy, and just, it did okay on the cleansing, but I think I like it better just mixed in with an actual cleanser that I feel like it's doing something. And that's probably totally me. I know there are people who use cold cream like Pond's to clean their face, and maybe this is similar to that. I mean, it's thick enough to be similar to that. So next we have the No Plans Desert Rose Mask. It's smooth and almost creamy, a reddish brown mask. It actually reminds me in color of the L'Oreal red algae mask that I used to help with my Amelia. Applies thinly and easily, and you don't need a lot. I was able to use my brush for this. So it applies thinly, it applies easily, you don't need a lot. So I probably have about 3, maybe 4 uses left in here. I use my brush with this like I do with any other mask, and it's spread out thinly and evenly and fine. It's perfumey enough to be noticed. It's very floral. It stung a bit in my problem areas, but that died down as it dried down, and it dried down without getting stiff on my face. It claims not to be drying like other masks, but there was some dry patches on my cheeks. I've mentioned before that most masks, even if they leave the rest of my skin feeling soft and smooth and hydrated, my cheeks will almost always be dry. I've only found one mask that doesn't do that. To be fair, they are smaller than usual, but it is still a little drying. Skin otherwise felt soft and smooth. Pores looked really good. Radiance pad came up clean. Price isn't horrible for a high-end clay mask, $40, but I do wish it were a little cheaper. I think I'd buy it if it were $5 or $10 cheaper, but at $40, I don't think I can justify the cost. I have masks that run between $30 and $35, most of them, that I really enjoy, and the L'Oreal one is only I want to say 12, but it might be a little higher than that. And it actually also cleans up the milia as well as doing everything else. So I don't feel like this does anything particularly special or different enough to warrant the price. Like I said, it's a decent mask. It's just not one I would spend that much on. Okay, and it says the natural kaolin clay face mask works double time to maintain hydration while detoxing the skin. A kaolin base pulls impurities and pollutants from the skin and delivers soothing minerals without the drying qualities of other facial clay masks. And like I said, I did have some drying on the front. It just says apply a thin layer to clean dry skin, smooth over face, avoiding eye area. All of this stuff says avoid eye area. Let sit for 10 minutes. Then rinse off in lukewarm water. Use 1 to 2 times a week. Never use any mask more than once a week because I rotate my masks. But regardless, I just don't think it's worth $40. I have too many that are 35 and under that work just as well, and yeah, do a really good job. And as you can see here, it's getting dried down. It dries down pretty quickly once it's on the skin. So. And then it comes off pretty quickly, easily too. It's a decent mask. It's just, to me, that's a little pricey. Okay, so next is the all-in eye cream. You use this both morning and night, and I have to tell you, I don't like it. It's thick in the jar, but milky on the finger. So if you look at this, I mean, I'm going to have this forever. I'm not going to use this. I'm probably going to give it to my daughter. Hopefully she'll like it. But it's very thick, but when it's on your finger, it's much less so. It's more of a very thin, milky kind of consistency. As with most eye creams, you need very little of it. It has a minty scent and that type of mint type cooling sensation on your skin when applied. It's a bit looser than most eye creams and takes very little, spreads easily, doesn't feel particularly emollient. It doesn't feel as moisturizing as my Mario Badescu, but it's light and didn't block my moisturizer or make it feel heavy. But my eyes did become a bit oily, and on top of that, the minty feeling, it was annoying. It was really, really annoying. Because of that feeling, I only recommend using it underneath your eye. Do not, you know how they say to circle your whole bone with an eye cream? Don't. Just don't. This stuff it's annoyingly, you just get that sensation there, and it just really, you could kind of feel it. It's hard to explain. It's almost like the fumes are getting into your eyes a little bit. My eyes didn't water, but I could feel the mintiness just sort of rising up into my eyes, so to speak. So I only recommend it for using under the eyes, and use something a bit more hydrating or moisturizing for everything else if you're going to use this. That said, even if this weren't $72, come on, $72, I wouldn't purchase this again. I don't like that sensation that it gives under my eyes, and my Mario Badescu herbal ceramide cream is much more moisturizing and emollient and will last me. This is a no. This really is a no. So according to the card, this says it is made with soothing cucumber and green tea. This silky smooth, weightless formula is gentle for the delicate eye area. MSM brightens while vitamin C counteracts eye puffiness and dark circles. Olive oil based squalene boosts blood circulation and provides moisture for visibly plump skin. You know, it may do all that. I didn't notice any differences, but I couldn't use it all that much because it was just too uncomfortable on my eyes. It was not something that it wasn't comfortable. I couldn't use it that much, and I just can't imagine anybody would be comfortable with that much mintiness coming around the eye area and being able to continually use this. And at $72, I mean, you just, honestly, there are better eye creams out there that will do what this claims to do, so, and for less, so look for one of them. Really look for one of them. Yes. All right, so next we have the Night Shift Gel. Okay, so this is a yellowish gel. It's thick in the pot. It's more wet, watery when tapped to be picked up. As you can see, it really is just like a thick little jelly. Like Jello, it doesn't go anywhere, but when you pick it up, it actually comes up looking on your hand more like water. Need very little of it, spreads fairly easy, leaves a tacky feeling behind. Waited a bit for it to absorb, but skin remained pretty tacky, and I didn't feel like it really gave any kind of hydration, which is what it's supposed to do. I haven't used this one that much, and I'll probably keep it and continue to play around with it, but I have other hydration items. There's a new one I've been playing with during the day that I'm enjoying, and this just doesn't seem to be it. It just does leaves my skin feeling like there's just something on it and it's tacky, and it just is, I don't know. Another one that just didn't seem to do what it said it's supposed to do, and the Night Shift Gel, an instant explosion of hydration, keeps your moisture levels balanced while vitamin C and E work to repair skin cells as you sleep. This face gel is enriched with peptides to stimulate collagen production and jojoba oil to eradicate fine lines and dryness. Again, I haven't used it enough to see those kinds of results, but I didn't get any explosion of hydration. I didn't feel any explosion of hydration anytime I used it. It feels watery on the when you put it in your hand and you spread it out. It feels very watery. So it goes on your skin easily enough. You don't need a lot of it, and those are nice, but if it's leaving your skin tacky and you're not feeling like your skin is actually getting anything from it, then what's the point? Next we have their High Society oil. It has a nice light scent, but this is definitely a much heavier oil than I like on my skin. I had put some on, and let me tell you something, you definitely have to go light on this. I had to blot off some excess because it didn't soak in well. My face still felt oily after I blotted it off. If I pressed my hand over my face, you know, I've done this and I've blotted it off. I take the back of my hand and I've done this, I will have a sheen of oil on my hand. So I only used this once or twice, and I'm probably not going to use it again. I don't know if my daughter would even want it because she gets acne, and something this heavy I think would not be helpful for that. Yeah, it's really, I like the new First Aid Beauty dry oat oil that they have. It's very dry, and it doesn't feel oily. I mean, when you smooth it on, it feels like you're kind of smoothing on an oil, but once it's on your skin and absorbed, you don't get that sheen on your hand from touching your face. You don't get that sensation that you have a lot of oil on your face. Your face feels smooth. Your face feels soft. It feels like it actually got something out of the oil. I didn't get anything like that from this, and this is much more expensive than the First Aid Beauty. Now, you would think that my cheeks would like it because they've been dry, but I get that same, I'm sitting on your skin and you get it on your hand and you get that sheen. So to me, this is just too heavy of an oil. You need something a little lighter for your skin, most people. Now, it might work if you have really dry skin, something for somebody with really dry skin to look into. My cheeks are just slightly on the drier side of normal. They're not really, really dry, but it's not something I'm going to keep using. It's just, it's too heavy, yeah, no. Okay, so the High Society oil, our luxurious custom skin blend melts into the skin. We source the best of the best in natural plant-based oils, combining omega-rich marula, hydrating jojoba, and lavish neroli, with many more oxidants, rich facial oils, absorbs quickly, and offers intense hydration while smoothing lines. It's intense, all right, but honestly, I think it's more for dry skin. All right, so next we have, I don't think I use this one that much either. It's called the Cloud Whip. The Cloud Whip Sea Cream. This is a really thick white cream. It comes up light, just like everything else. It looks heavier than what it comes up on your finger. It feels very emollient. Has a very strong floral scent. Guys, don't scent your stuff like this. I'm one of the people who likes breathing, and scents just seem to really trigger my allergies, so I hate them. Don't need a lot, but even if you go really light, it goes heavy on the skin. In the morning, you feel it on your face. It feels waxy. It feels heavy. It doesn't feel like it's absorbed. Again, it's an issue with, it looks good in theory and in what they say and in the ingredients they have, but when you put it on the skin, it just doesn't seem to work the way they say. This one says, its star ingredient, vitamin C, quickly penetrates the skin and activates upon contact, packed with maximum antioxidant protection. Cloud Whip blocks free radical, fades sunspots, and prevents discoloration while locking in moisture. I used these 2 or 3 times at once, and then I took a space off, and then I used them again. They just feel heavy to me, and I can't, because they're so heavy, and I don't like that feeling on my skin for a long period of time. I can't use them long enough to see if they do things, and on top of that, I don't have sunspots, so I can't tell you that anyway. I just have a little dot down here, and I don't even know if that's a sunspot. It's just a little dot. But yeah, it's just really, all of this stuff was just really heavy. I used it all at one time as suggested. My skin ended up with a sheen over it, but I could feel everything on my face. You all know I don't like things weighing the skin on my face down. I don't like to actually feel it on my face. To the touch sometimes is okay. I'd rather not, but with some things like foundation, I can understand if you touch your face like this and you feel it on your fingers, but I do not like to feel it on my face at all. And I feel like all the scents were too much. If you have scent, you need to go light. If you have scent for a complete regimen, they should go together instead of clashing or building up too much on each other. This was just too much. And yet my cheeks still felt dry. Later areas of my skin felt like I was sweating. It wasn't even on very long before that happened. By morning, that had gotten better, and it wasn't as heavy, but it was still like a thin, waxy layer on my skin. And after my morning rinse, my skin felt dry. I do not feel like the nighttime stuff really did anything for me. I do like the mask. That's about it. I like the mask. The gel is interesting. I just wish it actually did what it said. But out of all of that, I like the mask. I hated the cream soap. Yeah. It was just, yeah. Just no. This stuff was just not, I did not enjoy this at all. Moving on to the day stuff, because, you know, some of those worked and some of those didn't. My biggest complaint about the day regimen is it's too much. So I will do a full regimen at night. I will wash, I will mask, I will use a toner pad, I use my acne serum, which I will only dot on during the day in places, but my acne serum I will put in my entire T-zone and on my chin because that's where I'm prone. I will put on my eye cream. I put on a serum. Actually, my Claire's vitamin E, which I use like a serum, and then my moisturizer. I will do all of that at night. I have no problem with that. During the day, in the morning, my regimen is very, very simple. Wash with the water and a washcloth. Usually don't even use soap. If I work out that day, when I get in the shower, I'll use soap because I've sweated. But when I first get up, it's just a simple water washcloth wash. Eye cream, the anti-acne serum in spots if I'm breaking out, and moisturizer. That's it. That's all I do in the morning. I don't do scrubs. I don't do masks. I don't do the toning in the morning. I do all of that at night, once a day. That's it. I don't need all that in the morning. In the morning, I want something quick and easy. Just go, and so I can go and get on to the rest of my day, what I need to do. Don't want all this stuff. Before I go into bed, it's not a big deal. when I'm getting up and I know I have a busy day ahead, it's a big deal. I got other things to do, folks. So what they have for this, the first one is the Down to Earth cleanser. This is a much looser cleanser. It's really, really loose. And it suds up fine. Really, really loose. Really, really loose. You saw it just comes right out. It suds up fine. My skin didn't feel moisturized, but it didn't feel dry either. Radiance pad came up slightly discolored. Like I said, I use some of these at night. I will probably use this one at night too, but not horribly so. That said, my Derma E leaves my skin about the same in terms of softness and all of that, and maybe just a little softer, and is 1/3 of the price. So this is a $45 cleanser because my Derma E is about $15.50. And yeah, I'll use up this sample, but I wouldn't purchase it. I find the idea of a mud cleanser interesting though, and would be willing to look into more affordable version. Yeah, so that one actually cleansed. I didn't have a problem with that. The Down to Earth cleanser dissolves makeup and oil and everyday impurities gently without stripping skin, causing irritation or drying. Best for normal to oily and combination skin. I have combination skin, so it worked for me just fine. The bright side is for dry and sensitive. The only place I'm dry is here. I'm sensitive, but anyway. I'm interested in having a mud cleanser like that. I just, I think I could probably find something cheaper than $45, $50 for, you know, however much they give you, probably about an ounce. So the next one kind of confused me. It is the Zen out of 10 scrub. It is a bamboo detox scrub. It is a scrub. It's a thick, dark, caramel colored gel. You need a bit more. I did initially try to put it on with my hands. I haven't tried it with my brush at all. It is a scrub. As you can see, it's kind of a thick, chunky, it's a scrub. It has scrubbing properties. I did need more of it than most other products, so I have maybe one, maybe two uses left in the little jar. I think I would purchase it. It's $39. It's a bit high, but not astronomical. I would put it into my mask rotation at night. I do not understand why you would put on a scrub in the morning, especially one that's supposed to detox and clear things out. I would think that you would do that better. That would work better at night, but they want you to do this in the morning. But I would put it in my mask rotation at night, and instead of as part of my morning routine, which I generally keep very simple. Like I said, I like it, so it's one of the things I would actually consider purchasing. I just think it's just a touch expensive. This is one of the few that's on that border of you guys could go $5 to $10 cheaper and it would probably still be good, and I would be willing to, I really buy it for $30, $33. 40 is too much, I think. But anyway, I enjoyed the way my skin felt when it was done. Yeah, I liked it. That's one of the few that I like. Accelerates turnover plus delivers antioxidants and bioflavonoids to the new healthy skin layer. See softer and more visible glow after one use. I can't say it had a more visible glow. I will say my skin felt soft. My skin felt like it had gotten, exfoliated a little bit. So I really did like the scrub. Next we have, there's a lot in here. One thing about the jars, I have to say, they should have, I'm on the one hand, I'm glad they made them the sample size, as we mentioned that. But these jars are really kind of big, and I had to use my thumb several times on some of them because they're bigger. It's harder to control how much you're getting out of this one. Anyway, this is the Pep Rally Serum. So it seems loose when coming out of the bottle. I mean, it's like, looks like water a little bit. But it spreads over the face. It spreads over the face similar to water. a thicker water, if that makes sense. Soaks in very quickly, but it leaves the skin a bit tacky. I didn't notice anything particularly groundbreaking when I used it. I've used it a couple of times. I can use it a couple times more. But again, it was something that I'm not sure that really does anything for my skin. This one says the formula acts quickly to brighten skin tone. Didn't notice that. Minimize pores. Didn't see that. And protect against free radicals. It might do that, but that's not something you would see. Botanical-based hyaluronic acid gives you the ultimate boost in moisturizing power and tones the skin, reversing traces of dullness and stress. I said it was interesting. It's like putting water on your face, but I didn't actually notice it doing anything. Again, not impressed, not interested in purchasing, unfortunately. So next, we are almost done, folks. Next, we have the Soulmate Brightening Treatment. First, I can't open things, and now I'm dropping things. I really actually like the scent of this one. It's very citrusy in that way. It just has that citrus scent to it. I really want to say it's kind of floral and fruity at the same time, citrusy. It is a very light scent, which I also appreciate. It's a white cream, thick white cream that you don't need much of because it spreads on the face very well. It absorbed pretty quickly for the most part, though it did feel like it left a soft layer. There's it on my hand. Does feel like it leaves kind of a soft layer. My regular moisturizer spread over it easily and didn't feel heavy at all, which was nice. So this is another one that I kind of like, but I suspect the price is something I don't even want to think about. So the Soulmate, a multi-dimensional skin brightening moisturizer treatment that combines hyaluronic and glycolic acids for hydration and rapid cell turnover. A lot of these do rapid cell turnover. You're going to be supposedly getting a whole new face every time you put one on. Replenishes dry, tired skin by deeply hydrating cells. I do think that this one actually worked fairly close to what they claim. I did enjoy using it. I will continue to use it until it's gone. But again, I suspect because it's a brightening treatment and they have stuff that's really expensive, this is probably somewhere around the $100 range, and I wouldn't repurchase it. Not for those prices, baby. And finally, we have the Dreamer Moisturizer. It's a standard cream, little no scent, don't need much. Another standard cream. I got a lot of this one left. Initially feels very light, but hours later I could still feel it on top of my skin. Almost, but not quite like a waxy coating. There is a bit of a waxy feeling when it goes on, but it doesn't seem that bad initially. It just gets worse through the day. This will be something that I'll probably finish up at night rather than during the day. I need lighter stuff during the day for my skin. It does feel moisturizing. It's that waxiness to it that's just bizarre and uncomfortable, and something that I don't need on my skin all day long. It doesn't work for me. And it says, Daydreamer, our daily hydration here. Daydreamer blends an array of our favorite organic oils and botanicals with plenty of hyaluronic acid for its over 1,000 times moisture binding ability. I assume by binding they mean it's going to keep it in your skin. But again, it's not something I would purchase. It's just too heavy. It starts feeling waxy later in the day. I wouldn't use it during the day. It was just, most of these have that issue, especially when combined. It might be because everything is supposed to moisturize and cell turnover, and it just like everything seemed to have very similar descriptions, and it was all supposed to do pretty close to the same thing, and it just might have been overload for my particular skin. When I used the full daytime regimen, this was a bit much for me. Like I said, I keep it simple. I wash, water rinse basically, eye cream, moisturizer. Sometimes I'll use my serum if I need it. I can feel this layered on my skin throughout the day, though it for the most part, it doesn't get heavier. The moisturizer does seem to get a bit more waxy during the day, but it's just not, yeah, it's just not something that I would continue to use. I understand that they've got to really sort of hype up your products, but your products need to do what you say they're going to do. And I don't feel that these did, for the most part, what they said they were going to do. Really, for me anyway. So, yeah, just no. So I hope you like what you've seen, and if you do like what you've seen, I hope you will subscribe and hit the notification bell. I'm suddenly having trouble talking. just hit the bell, okay? I currently upload Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I do occasionally have bonus videos. I do upload bonus videos of me unboxing indie brands, which is what we try to focus here on the channel. And for those of you who love him, my son does his unboxings. He has one more Loot Crate, but since Loot Crate has filed for bankruptcy, his father has canceled that subscription, and we're going to be looking for another one. He has given me the go-ahead to look for another one. So hopefully you all will get to see him, because I know you all love him more than me anyway. I know most of you come back every 3 months to see him. Anyway, if you want to see those, then you need to have that bell rung, the notification active, so you know when they go up, because they don't go up on our regular upload days. And if you're part of my notification squad, you will need to check both your subscription and your bell to make sure they're both still active. If you choose not to subscribe, well, I'd be sad, but I'd actually understand, because, you know, hey, rambly woman, yeah, we can get really off topic and long sometimes, really long sometimes. I try not to get that long, but I get long sometimes. So I would understand, but I hope you would come back, because we love having the company here, and we'd love to see you again. And if you do come back again, don't forget to bring your cup of tea. So we've sat here long enough for it to cool down a bit, but it's not cold, which is good. We should be at full strength by now, I hope. But I'm going to go ahead and give it a sip, and we're going to get out of here, because it's that time. Just some teas. Okay, this is out of all the Tipson teas I've tried so far. They all are turmeric based, and as far as I know, at least so far, yeah, because it says organic turmeric and herbal infusions. But out of the 3, maybe 4 that I've tried, this is the one I've really been enjoying. I think I'm going to put this in my little box back here, where I have a lot of empty packets of teas that I want to buy in the future if I ever run out of tea. I won't run out of tea. I haven't even touched. I have this big box full. I haven't touched it since I've started the Sips By. I'm barely getting through the stuff that I have out in the actual tea crates over here. So by the time I get to the point where I want to buy one of these and have the money and have the space, they probably will be discontinued. This is the sad thing. I love the teas. Anyway, one more sip and then I'm going to go. Alrighty then. Now I'm going to get out of here. You all have a great day. Bye.